Good morning. Welcome to Unity in Lynnwood and this sacred time of silent meditation. I'm Barbara Thorpe, Prayer Chaplain Emeritus. So I invite you, if you're comfortable, to gently close your eyes. Place your feet on the floor and let that chair fully support you as the power of God fully supports you. Breathe in. Breathe into your sacred being. Breathe in and let go. To be fully present with your divine self. Open to the living presence of God in you as you. Open to the living presence of God in me as me. Say that to yourself. I listen to the desires of my heart. What do I want to bring into my life and my world in 2026? I listen and I know. I listen and I know. In the silence. In the silence. I invite you to gently move your feet a little, breathe a little deeper. Know that the power of God is within you. You have all that is needed to bring forth your heart's desire. Take time to listen. Bless and appreciate yourself right now for giving yourself this time in the stillness. We open our hearts and our power of love as we welcome all who attend today. We give thanks and bless all that serve at Unity in Lynnwood on this special day, the first Sunday in 2026. So move a little more and open your eyes and come back to this time and place. And so it is.
the things my family did. I am not the voices in my head. I am not the pieces of the brokenness inside. I am light. I am light. Mistakes that I have made, or any of the things that caused me pain. I am not the pieces of the dream I left behind. I am light. I am light. I defined. I am the God on the inside. I am a star, a piece of it all. I am light. Good morning. Welcome and Happy New Year.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Kelly. That was beautiful. Happy New Year. And how about those Seahawks?
Yeah.
It's a great day at Unity in Lynnwood. I'm Jennifer Lovejoy, and it's my pleasure to be your welcoming minister this morning. We have a guest speaker who's going to be doing our white stone ceremony, who I'll introduce in a little bit. But first, we want to start with a moment of settling in. So if you are comfortable closing your eyes, I invite you to go ahead and do that. And just take a deep breath, noticing how easily the breath flows in and out in an endless circle of giving, receiving, flowing. And we honor this time of new beginnings. We feel excited as we look towards the year ahead, the many blessings, the many adventures, the opportunities to love, to share, and to take care of each other on this earth journey. We give thanks for this community and for all the opportunities that are ahead of us as we start a new beginning this year. And so we tune in to those blessings, to the abundance, to the love, and to this community that surrounds us and shares the road with us as we move forward. And we say, thank you, God, and so it is. So again, I would like to welcome everyone. We every Sunday talk about our mission and vision, practical spirituality, welcoming community, and hopefully you will experience both of those things today. I find that in one way or another, I almost always do experience both of those aspects of our mission, so we really do try to live that. And we also start every Sunday with an invocation, which we say together, so if you'll join me in this, though imaged and named variously, there is a singular and eternal ground of being from which all life emanates and into which all life retreats. We choose to call this ground of being God. By extension, we come to understand that we are spiritual in nature, human in expression, and limitless in potential. We gather today to remember such truths, to celebrate our unity, and to honor all life. And that last sentence is our Unity in Lynnwood vision statement. So the mission is how we do things. The vision is the intention, the idea, the bolder vision that we hold, where all can live in unity and all can celebrate the unity of all life. And that is what we're working towards as we try to transform lives and support each other in doing that here. So I love that we say that every Sunday as well. And the other piece of mission vision is core values. We've done a lot of work on our core values, which were originally developed back in 2014, but we had a culture committee who worked on those last year and created an acronym, EMPOWER, to line up with each of the core values. And so today's core value is the letter O, which stands for oneness of all life. Do you want to read this one with me as well? We teach the unity of all life, transcendent of culture, era, or religion, or lack thereof. You good with that? Okay. So I want to give a special welcome to any new first-time guests or newer guests, maybe people who are returning after being gone for a while. If you are here for the first time, we have ambassadors who are available to support you, and our ambassador today is Francis, who just stepped in there to the back of the room. Thank you, Francis, for your service. And so if you're willing, and if you're here for the first time, if you wouldn't mind just raising your hand so Francis can see who you are, and she'll find you after service and just see if you need. Okay, so we've got some folks there in the back. We've got some folks over here. So welcome again, and any questions you have about our church or anything afterwards, Francis would be happy to help you with that. So welcome. I also want to give a special welcome to our online participants. We have a robust virtual community, virtual members who are an important part of our church, and so we love that they are with us here every Sunday. We've got 10 people watching online, but you know, that is an underestimate because a lot of us cannot figure out how to put our name in if we're on YouTube. Myself, when I have to watch it at home, I watch it on YouTube, but I log into Facebook because I know how to put my name to Facebook. So anyway, we know you're out there, and it's okay. We love you. There is no judgment here. But to those of you who did put your name in, Ursula in Cocoa, Florida. We've got Dale in Lake Stevens, Tom in Edmonds, and Nanette and Jerry, longtime members of Unity in Lynnwood, dialing in from Edmonds. So if everyone would take a look over here at this camera where Walayn is helping us out. Thank you, Walayn. And to our online folks, just say, we see you. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. We see many blessings coming your way. All right, and now we will do our group song.
Yeah. So we'd like to invite everyone to sing along. The words will be up on the screen. We're going to do Here I Am, also called I Will Be. So if you know it, go ahead and sing along. Here I am, a vessel to be used. Whatever Spirit needs of me, I will be, I will be, I will be. Here I stand. Here I stand. My heart is here to serve. Wherever love is leading me, I will you to stand as you're able and greet your neighbor this morning. Say hello, maybe meet somebody new.
Take your seats. There's a lot of festive energy in this room right now. I think we have a lot of things to catch up on with each other. Thank you for taking your seats. Good morning. My name is Sally West, and I'm delighted to be your platform host today. Once again, as we've been saying, we find ourselves in the first week of a new year. During this week, we tend to talk about better times ahead, make resolutions to lose weight and exercise more. How many of us actually succeed in that? It's a sore point for me anyway. Yet, on the level of spirit, we are flying towards greater awareness on this spinning earth. Maybe, like the planet itself, time is not a straight line, but a spiral. Maybe, while we think we are simply aging through each season's cycle of seasons, our souls are really deepening in consciousness within this human existence. This year, I call my past self to dance with my future possibilities, releasing past fears and limitations to realize the potential that I have from this present moment. This year, I embrace letting go and allowing, rather than grasping and striving. I was moved this week by the words of a young poet. I'd never heard of her before. May Aigun is her name. And I'd like to share a few lines of her poetry with you. She wrote, "This new year, don't make resolutions. Instead, take something apart. A habit, a belief. Let it crumble. Live without it for a while. Feel the quiet it'll bring. How raw, how open. Then decide if you really need it, or if all this time it was just taking up space." I love that. Yeah. Yeah. May Agun, her name is. So in this spirit of openness, of releasing and allowing, we reaffirm that here at Unity, we see each person as a spark of divine source. Here we celebrate all the paths that may have brought you to where we are now, all spiritual traditions, religions, or lack thereof, all cultures, races, genders, and sexual orientations. As our mission statement says, we honor the fundamental unity of all life, and in that acceptance, we wait with wonder to see what Spirit will unfold. Thank you.
Days pass, years vanish, and we walk sightless among miracles. God, fill our eyes with seeing, our minds with knowing. Let there be moments when the lightning of your presence illumines the darkness in which we walk. Help us to see wherever we are that the bush burns unconsumed, and we clay touched by God will reach out for holiness and exclaim in wonder, how filled with awe is this place, and we did not know it. How filled with awe is this place, we did not know it. Days pass, years vanish, and we walk sightless among miracles. God, fill our eyes with seeing, our minds with knowing. Let there be moments when the lightning of your presence illumines the darkness in which we walk. Help us to see wherever we are that the bush burns unconsumed, and we clay are touched by God and will reach out for holiness and exclaim in wonder, how filled with awe is this place, and we did not know it. How filled with awe is this place, help us to see it. Help us to see it.
Oh my, wow. Oh, that really is our prayer, isn't it? Help us to see it. Just help us to see it. Well, it is my pleasure to introduce our guest speaker today, who has a very familiar last name. Reverend Larry Schellink is an ordained Unity minister, blogger, and spiritual coach who has guided 4 Unity communities in California since 1996. Larry draws on life lessons and timeless wisdom to share messages that blend compassion, honesty, and humor, helping listeners to hear their own heart's song. Committed to authentic growth, he creates environments where people can heal, evolve, and discover deeper joy and meaning. As a spiritual director and author, Larry teaches, learns, and shares with passion and clarity, offering timeless truth principles forged in the crucible of his own life experiences. He lives in Poulsbo, Washington, with his life partner, Denise, where they moved not out of love for the cloudy skies, but to be closer to family, especially the grandchildren who bring sunshine to their lives. So, Larry, welcome.
Gosh, if you ever want me to write your resume, your introduction, happy to do that for you. Always sounds so much better than it is, but there it is. Anyway, I'm delighted to be here. Reverend Denise sends her love and her good thoughts for the new year for you all and your new minister. And she is moving into retirement slowly and gracefully and gradually. And she's also still has her calendar out every morning. So I've tried to encourage her to just cool it with scheduling because she doesn't have to. But anyway, she is grateful for her time here. And I'm grateful to have some time with you this morning. This is a new year, and as has already been said very well, that many of us look at a new year sort of with a little bit of magical thinking, like somehow this is going to be the year, or just because it's clicked over from 25 to 26, that there's some power in that change of the date. And many of us probably know, because we've lived a few years, that that's not necessarily true, but it does give us an opportunity to pause. And anytime we pause, we have an opportunity to think differently, see differently, yes? So that is the part of it that we can embrace, because in all that about those resolutions that we make, I'm going to lose weight, and I'm going to start working out at the gym, and some of those last about as long as a salad at one of your potlucks here. They're here and then they're gone, right? So, So I want to tell you a little bit about my story, not because my story is that important, but it lets you know about this journey, because my story is probably very much like yours. We started out in life, and very soon we realized that we wanted to be what? Happy, right? And so our life has been a series of adventures and starts and stops and creations and miscreations, all for this effort to realize what seemed to be this elusive feeling of happiness and well-being. And I don't know if there's any self-improvement junkies in the house here. But that was my journey, and I signed up for everything. I just figured that, every time I heard about some new program or some new something or other, I wanted to be a part of it. And I probably spent, way too much money and way too much time pursuing those things. But my intention was good. And so I wrote them all down because I could not ever remember all these. So here we go. Self-improvement treadmill that I was on. Psycho-cybernetics, that's going pretty far back. Remember that? Some of us will remember that. And then there's self-hypnosis, of course. EST. Anyone do the EST? Yeah. Sutphin training. Rolfing. Neuro-linguistic programming. Tony Robbins. Walking on fire. And on it goes, right? Well, my parents grew up in the Depression era. And because they dealt with so much hardship financially, they had one message for us kids. And that was, don't be poor. And it sounds something like this: get a good job, get a good education, get a good job, make money. What is that called? The American dream. The American dream. So I was all in. And I did that. And I got a college education, I got good jobs, and then better jobs. And one day, Denise and first of all, I married the woman of my dreams. I really did, 46 years ago, by the way. Beautiful woman, lit up the room wherever she was, lit up my life. I felt extremely grateful. And life just kept getting better from there. And one day we're standing on the deck of our home overlooking the Pacific. And the sun was setting. And we had a brand new baby, our first son. And my friend had come from college to visit. He lived in a different part of California. And we're looking on, this is Cayucas, California, which is Central Coast. And this friend of mine came to visit this one night. And he walked up the stairs to where our living room was. And we're looking out over the ocean. And the sun is setting over the Pacific, a glorious view. And he says to me, "Larry, you've made it. You've made it." And I'm like, "Yeah, you know what? I have. I have a beautiful home, a beautiful wife, and a beautiful child. And I'm living in a beautiful area." Something was wrong. Because I checked in, and there was still this nagging discontent. I felt so ungrateful, right? Like, what's wrong with you? But everything looked good out here. Do you hear me? Everything looked good out here. And I had checked all the boxes of this American dream. But I couldn't redeem the promise of the happiness. What was wrong? And for me, and it took me a long time, because aren't we stubborn? Don't we think, you know what? I think maybe if I had the house next door, where they're not looking at, that one telephone pole that's just sort of there in the way of the view. If I was over there, does anyone know about this? Because there is always better than here, until you get there, and then that view there is no better than the last here that became a there, and you go on and on and on. And I didn't see it at the time, but as you listen to this story, you can see that all of that work that I had been doing was trying to improve life and hoping then that that would translate into an inner sense of happiness and well-being. And it wasn't until, and I was a slow learner, it wasn't until I was in my late 30s, almost 40, that my beloved, Denise, started going to a Unity church in San Luis Obispo, California. And she came home and she said, "You must go." And I said, "I will not go." I had a very poor, dim view of religion, let's just say. She said, "But no, this is different." The minister was giving this life-affirming message. And I, finally, to keep peace in the family, you capitulate, like, okay, I'll go. She literally dragged me to that church. And I came up to the front door, and, there was the greeter there. And I was a very rational-minded guy, I wasn't in my heart at all. So I walked to the front door, and this woman's there, and she holds her two hands out, and I'm thinking, who shakes hands with two hands? And I grabbed one of them, and I shook it. And she grabbed me, gave me this big hug. She was a big woman, and she gave me one of those grandma hugs, And I went, oh boy. And I wanted to turn to go. These dragged me in, and we sat down. And, Spirit has a good sense of humor and also a perfection. Because the lesson that day was about this young man who went to his father and said, give me half of my inheritance now, and I'm going to go off and I know how to live my life. I just need more money, and then I'll be happy. And the father, surprisingly, says, okay, go. And of course we know this is the story of the prodigal. And he finds himself out there. You know, he married a girl of his dreams. He had the oceanfront house. And there was something missing. And he felt lower than he had before because now he had every reason to be happy. And he felt worse because now there was no more farther he could go in the direction, this external direction of moving out for more and more and more of what life supposedly is going to provide you with to make you happy. And that's a low point. And having taken that single direction to move outward, he finally realizes that he had it better when he was at home. And he turns around and he goes back. And that journey back saved my life. Because, you know, when you keep pursuing the wrong path, it can become self-destructive because you need more buzz, you need more sizzle, you need more, something better. I could have gone through relationships, I could have gone through divorces, I could have gone through so many things. If you just follow that train of thought, the mind is never satisfied. It's only when we return to what? The heart. Because in the mind, there is endless questions. Have you noticed? If you try to do spiritual life with your mind, you will quickly find that all your mind will do is go, yeah, but, until you take these teachings into the heart. And in the heart, there are no questions. There is knowing. That's what the spiritual path, that's the end game. There's nothing more to solve once we come home to our heart. As long as that heart is open and receptive, the Spirit of truth lives in us as us. We say these affirmations all the time. But for the longest time, I still tried to live my spiritual life in my head. I was reading all the books and studying all the scriptures, but it was all a mind trip. And literally, I became a minister, and I was still kind of using my mind to try to find what everyone said was the promised land, you know, or enlightenment. It's not about becoming a perfected person. It's not about becoming a better anything, right? Do we know this? Have we taken this journey? I think if I finally get good enough, if I finally, my meditations get good enough, if I finally go to the right workshop, the right, have the right guru, the right teacher, then somehow it's going, the skies are going to open up. And the dove is going to descend like it did with Jesus, and it's going to be, you are now my beloved. And I'm going to be filled with this love and peace. And no, those are stories, and they're metaphors for what needs to happen here in us. Anyone relate? But it's so anti-American dream or anti-Western thinking, because we tend to think, okay, I'm here, but I want to be somewhere else. This is not good enough, whatever this is, even if it's good. Because if we're listening to that part of us, it's like, remember the Pac-Man game? It's just eating, and never fulfilled. That part of us. If we're allowing that part of us to be that which drives us, we will be guaranteed to be unfulfilled from now until whenever. So, Well, this is completely off script, but that's the way it goes with me. Let's see what else I was going to say. Well, I don't want to spend much more time because we are going to do this white stone ceremony today, and that is going to really be the work where how do we find our way back to this essence? It's going to be an invitation for us to really open our hearts and really be receptive. And I'm hoping that what I've said to you thus far will give you some encouragement to let go of any story you came in with today about how happiness might be in some future outcome. Even though we like to make resolutions, and I'm thinking about, maybe this is the year I really will get in shape, I mean, for a long time I wanted a six-pack, but now I figure, why not just have the whole case? So I'm sort of sitting in that, letting go of that one. But anyway, let's, Kelly, by the way, Kelly, you're wonderful, and you guys are all very blessed to have such a beautiful being who really sings from her heart, and all the support you have. Jennifer and Cameron with the sound is very professionally done. So, well, way to go. So we're going to have this beautiful song. It's just allow it to open you. And then if you all don't have a stone, this is the time to say, somebody please give me a stone. Don't throw it at me, but please hand it to me. By the way, I just say one thing comedically, and then I will be much more somber. One of my good friends who was a minister had not heard about this ceremony. And he called me up, and he had a good sense of humor, and he said, what is this white stone ceremony? He said, I've never heard of this. I said, is it a bunch of white guys sitting around getting stoned? I said, no, and it's fine, I what it is. So.
This inner space has the power to set me free. It's the cavern of creation and the truth of you and me. This inner space, an eternity of time. It's the moment of the holy now and the allness that is mine. This inner space contains all that I need. From deep within the invisible flows the living air I breathe. This inner space is flowing in my bones. It stirs my heart, it stirs my mind, and every prayer I've ever known. And I say, breathe, just breathe. Now breathe this peace, this inner space is the ocean of your soul. And when you feel most broken, the truth is you are whole. This inner space connects us one and all. And though it would never push you, it will break down every wall. And I say, breathe, just breathe. Now breathe this peace, this inner space It invites us to renew. In all my endless choosing, I become the chosen to this inner space. It never knows a past. In a quiet place you can hear it, and it might just make you laugh. So I say, breathe, just breathe. Now breathe this peace of this inner space.
Thank you, Kelly.
Thank you.
So we all have a white stone, yes? Right. This ceremony comes from the book of Revelation. And actually, it's number 217 if you want to look it up. It says, "He who has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit says. To him who conquers, I will give some of the hidden manna, and I will give him a white stone with a new name written on the stone, which no one knows except him or he or she who receives it." So, this is a ritual. And rituals are not meant to be taken literally. Spiritual rituals are touchstones, and very aptly, to point us in the direction of our deeper truth. So this morning I shared with you briefly how we can be going in the wrong direction for our answers, and what the result of that can be is this profound discomfort and discontent and seemingly a God-sized hole. And God-sized holes can only be filled with God stuff. So what we're looking for this morning is not any specific answer. We're looking for that which we already are, but have forgotten. We've heard it over and over again, you were made in the image and likeness of God, Spirit, truth, love, peace, wholeness. But somehow we forget that as we get engaged in life and the seeming necessity for us to be struggling and striving, and we keep encountering those things that seem to be our shortcomings, the not enoughness, the insufficiencies. Well, all those do not come from our God self, do they? They come from the self that we have taken ourselves to be, who we've been conditioned to take ourselves to be. And if life has not taught us anything, it certainly has taught us that that is not a way to live a happy new year. To live a happy new year is to connect with that part of us which is the divine essence of us. If you hold the stone in your hand, I was playing with this earlier, and you could run your finger around the circumference of the stone. And it sort of reminds me that, every year we're circling the sun, right? 365 days comes around. But if you keep going around like that, you realize it never ends. There's a symbol here of eternity, right? That which never ends. This is spiritual stuff, right? That which never ends. And if you notice that if you keep your finger on the stone, you're always in contact with this solid rock, which to me is like, Jesus said, upon this rock I will build my church. He was talking about faith. He was talking about that inseverable connection to truth, which is at the core of us, which is the essence of us. It's not the story about us. It's the greatest story of all, which is that we were made in the image and likeness of God, which is love, which is peace, which is wholeness. So you can do whatever you want with this white stone. We invite you to consider what you would want to take with you in the new year in terms of remembering. I will just suggest to you, and you can do whatever you want with it, is remembering your spiritual truth. And the way that sometimes is framed is, I am. I am. And not I am this or I am that, I am man, I am woman, I am doctor, lawyer, baker, candlestick maker. I am, period. And what I am designates is the name of God. It's also what Jesus said before Abraham was, I am. Was he talking about a body or an essence? I am is your essence. It seems to me that what I want to hold on to in every moment is this connection with Source that reminds me of who and what I truly am and what I really am. Not this man in an aging body with a story, but this timeless, ageless, spiritual being. Just like this stone does not yield to pressure, no matter how hard you squeeze, unless you're Superman, neither does the Spirit of truth yield to the pressures of your life. You can allow this stone to remind you that what you are can never be diminished, never be even stained. It remains in its purity, no matter what befalls us in a life. So let's go into a guided time now to allow that Spirit of truth to be brought forward into our mind's eye, knowing that it's the heart that holds these truths. You may wish to put your hand over your heart just to bring energy there and bring your attention there. And as we breathe into the heart, it expands. And it sends its light out in all directions. Illuminating every part of this mind, of the body. And that light has no bounds, and it continues to move outward, filling this room with its pure, healing light. Our brother Jesus said, I am the light of the world, and you are the light. No matter what our caregivers may have said about us, I'm going with what Jesus said. I am the light. And it's a light that has no beginning and no end. It's the light that enlightens every man and woman coming into the world, as it says in Scripture. And maybe we've been covering that light, holding it under a bushel, as Jesus said. And maybe now's the time to let that light shine, to be who we truly are, to express the truth of us, to transcend the stories of limitation and loss and lack. Because there is no lack in the soul of us. There's no limits. There's this limitless love and peace that passes all human understanding in every moment. This inner space is life itself, with a capital L. It cannot be extinguished. It cannot be limited. It cannot be delayed. It has no bound, it's not bound by time or space. That's what you are. And so now in this time of revelation, we ask, what do I most want to remember from this journey inward? From having touched the hem of the garment of truth, I now know something deeper and truer about my true identity, my spiritual heritage, what I'm really made of and made for. And if something comes to you in words, you could write it on your stone. Most importantly, take this feeling that you have, this authentic return to your essence, to the truth of you, and allow that to stay with you. And if ever you were to forget, pick up the stone again and allow it to take you back there as a touchstone to the truth of you that has no end. Course in Miracles says, enlightenment is but a recognition. It's not a change at all. The light is already within you. Let this time of remembrance wash your heart clean of any resentments or regrets, that you might live from this moment forward as the love that you are. We thank you, Spirit, that you are powerfully embedded in us as us. Thank you that you never seek to remind us and restore us and renew us. We are grateful, and we let it be. And so it is.
Thank you. As we prepare to give, we remember that every gift we share is an act of love, a way of saying yes to the work of Spirit here at Unity in Lynnwood and in the world. Your generosity helps us create a place of belonging, peace, and transformation for all who enter. We invite you to give from the heart, knowing that as you give, you also receive. For in God's economy, love always multiplies. Ushers, please come forward.
I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful, I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful, I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful, I am so blessed.
Thank you, ushers. So please join me as we bless these offerings, recognizing that they go out to do the work and the will of God in our world, in our community. And as the circle of blessing goes wider and wider, we too are blessed and prospered. And so it is. Thank you.
Okay, so it's time for invitations, and I believe, is there a slide about small groups? I'll draw your attention to all the offerings of the small groups that happen here at Unity. But I would like to focus on a few invitations. After service today, everyone is invited to stay for our community potluck, which is hosted by the men's group. Thank you, men's group. If you haven't already, we'd also appreciate you taking a moment to fill out the hospitality survey that is available back at the Welcome and Information Desk or on our website. Excuse me. Saturday, January 17th at 1 p.m., join us for an indoor traditional Northwest Coast Sea-Swiss medicine circle with Siswin Clay. Excuse me. Tickle in my throat, and Laurel Boucher. It features drumming, singing, stories, and prayer. Hand drums and rattles are welcome, and registration is available on our website. You are invited to our annual financials meeting on Sunday, January 25th at 12:30. This is a time to hear updates, ask questions, and stay connected as a community. Our church office has been closed through Christmas and is so until Wednesday, January 7th, in a couple of days, so that our staff can enjoy time for rest and renewal. Emails and voicemails will still be checked for urgent needs, and the office will remain open on Sundays throughout the break. Thank you very much.
So I was reminded before service that we are looking for some volunteers who might be willing to help us with the Christmas takedown. We have left these items up through Epiphany, which I was reminded is January 6th, 12 days after Christmas, but we do want them taken down before next Sunday. So if you are willing to show up at 9 o'clock, it should be really quick, but you know, more hands make for lighter work. So please come if you can. Saturday, yes, not Sunday, next Saturday, 9 a.m. here at the church, and that would be terrific. Also, next Sunday, our guest speaker is going to be Rabbi Ted, so you don't want to miss that. We love our Rabbi Ted Sundays. And the Sunday after that, our new minister, Angie Keys, will be starting, and I believe that's the 18th. So it's going to be a really terrific January. So let's close with our unity statement of faith. Together, there is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, the infinite, living, loving presence of God. And every Sunday we have prayer chaplains available to pray with you, whether it is a prayer need or a celebration. Please take advantage of their amazing prayer abilities. Would our prayer chaplains who are in service today please rise? I see them running from the back. Dana and Amanda and Barbara, thank you so much. Please find one of these amazing chaplains up here in the front after service, and they'll find a place to go and pray with you. And if you are online and would like prayer, you can send an email to that address on your screen, prayer@unityinlynnwood.org, along with your phone number, and expect a call within 24 hours from a prayer chaplain, and they will be happy to pray with you as well. So again, we close in gratitude, with excitement for the adventure of this year, knowing our true selves. And thank you so much, Larry, for that beautiful lesson and that beautiful meditation. Very powerful. And we are off into 2026. So Kelly, will you close us out, please?
Lord, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true. With thanksgiving, I'll be a living sanctuary for you. Lord, teach the people to stop fighting, start you